the relationship now is fundamentally adversarial, or feels that way.
Yes.
And that's problematic because, you know, and maybe that is you could argue that might be the corporation's fault. And I hate using the term corporations in some sense, because corporations are just made up of a bunch of people. Like, there's just different layers of people and hierarchies, and they have different levels of authority, but they're all fundamentally like human beings that are trying to accomplish something and have some amount of investment or not inside of the organization that they work for, with, or whatever. And there's like this, you know, is it almost revenge in some sense, or justice, perhaps optimistically, that like for so long the companies were trying to take advantage of the workers, which honestly, when you look at tech and you look at Silicon Valley and Silicon Beach and all, like, the employers worked really hard to make sure their employees were happy and did all sorts of things that no other industries in the world have done. Partially, I think, in recognition of how valuable a commodity the employee was.
Absolutely.
But there was, there is a historical, or was a historical, mutual distrust and sort of like, we're in a constant war and we're seeing who can get the most out of that war. And the problem with war is it's very highly destructive. And if you can actually work together to solve a problem, you're going to be much better off. But that involves, like, we've gone too far, I think, for that. The pendulum has swung to, like, I don't care if the corporation's burned down, I'll just join the next one. Or I'll quit if I don't like it, or whatever. They can't expect any, like, any expectation they have of me I don't like, I can just say, like, you shouldn't expect that of me, or no, I have a right not to blah, blah, or whatever it is. And to me, that's the problem with sort of the disloyal mercenary model in this. And the anger that I see there, or the disinterest, is that, like, wait a minute, you're working for a company. Why are you working for a company? And maybe it's just to get paid. And I'm not going to say there's anything wrong with that. The question is, as a result of that relationship, should you aspire to do what is best for or by that company? And I think historically we would say, well, I would, but they actually don't care about me, so I'm no longer interested. But now it's like, no, and no one should ever expect me to. Of course they shouldn't ask me to turn my camera on. You know, of course they should allow me to work remote when and if I want to. You know, of course, I mean, going back into other things, like, these sort of modern luxuries were afforded, like, not just maternity leave, but paternity leave. Not for a short period of time, but for long periods of time. And the expectation that that's just part of me working here. And I feel like in the long term, the nature of that destructive adversarial relationship will be bad for everybody. And that's maybe the long-term view where I'm really concerned. That's why the mercenary thing scares me, because as we all start focusing more, and perhaps in an unhealthy way, on the individual entirely, and that they have all the rights and all the power, do they basically shred apart the corporations, and in so doing lose more than they realize?